Okay, good evening. Yes, welcome to those few moments where I get to share something regarding business. Without wasting much of your time, I'm going to be talking about three cardinal issues. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, especially one that is working in a terrain of enormous uncertainty and unpredictability, I want you to concentrate so much on this cardinal structure. Business in Nigeria doesn't work with that you have a lot of sense more than the other person. It doesn't work with the fact that you might even have the knowledge, but when you apply it, a lot of circumstances outside your control truncates it. Okay? So basically, the three cardinal structure I want to talk about before I go off is number one, hand over your business to God. I used to be somebody who do not put religion when it comes to business. I look at a system whereby a lot of people can, you know what you want to do, you know the X amount of money involved, you know where you want to invest it, you've calculated the returns. It's pretty much straightforward. It doesn't work that way. There's an element of spirituality in making money. Believe me, across board, even the diviners will tell you, the necromancers will tell you, the palm readers will tell you there's an element of divinity in life struggle. So you might have a very good picture of how much it's going to cost to get the business going, how much you're going to invest, the returns. And when you start, it is beautiful on paper. I've done it. I can tell you one or two things. I've done my eyes, crossed my T's and dotted my I's. And when I started to implement it, I started to see my anus. Okay? Hand over your business to God. Now, by God, we have disparity in aligning religious wise. We have a lot of people who believe in the traditional setting. We have people who go with the, Christians and Muslim, but whatever it is, understand that there's a place of divinity, very clear. God needs to be in your business. You need to take over to it. Before I came live now, I had to report some cases. I have a publisher. I'm running out of stock. There's money to make. In fact, this is the best time I'm having people place orders. Then he's not keeping up to the side of his bargain and his phones are off. And I have to talk to people. This is your business. Somebody is fucking up. And you've paid him more than half of his money. If his money is 200K, you've given him 150. And he's not turning up. And his phone is off. And you're dying in pain because you don't know how you can clearly plan everything. It doesn't work that way. That is what business is like in Nigeria. You can have everything figured out and then you're fucked up. Okay? And then there's nobody to, or you have an investment. You invest, you're supposed to get an X amount of money. Like what is happening over Facebook, I don't want to stress. And then they come up with some obnoxious news and they tell you you have to wait for X amount of months and then your money is pending and then you have issues. Probably you are the breadwinner of your family, or probably you happen to be at a very precarious situation where you need to use money. And then you are now back to square one. You're not asking people for funds. The disgrace, the ridicule, the contempt. These are more some of the things we see in business within this contraption. So when you think you have it all figured out, understand very clearly about these elements. And that's why we talk about allowing God be in your business. I'm not telling you Christianity, I'm not telling you, but just tell you, understand there's a place of spirituality in all of this. The second one is amateurs don't make money. Professionals do. Before delving into Bitcoin, I hear a lot of hype. Cryptocurrency, I hear a lot of people talk. I am somebody who like to do a background check. Not because I am well schooled, but it's a natural business setting. Let me see people who have eaten. let me ask them some questions before I invest. So I did that for almost, say, 2 years. But it was still not a guarantee. And when I joined, I called somebody off this platform. I wouldn't want to name him. Of course, now he's not talking to me. Actually, he's a fool. Sorry, I had to add that. He's a fool. But I called somebody and I, engaged him before delving into it. And I was forwarding a comment. I asked him, do I need to sell? Do I need to do some kind of damage control? And he did not answer me. And so I got another lesson from business on that. You are alone, actually. No matter how much of the research you've done, you are alone. You take those decisions alone, you live with the consequences. And so when I'm saying some of this, I'm not just reading from, these are verbatim, these are things I learned from my experiences. And I'm living with the consequences, but I can laugh. Because if I do not have the right emotions, I can succumb to sickness. This is why people get sick. This is why people die or have heart failure, all of those things, because you've already done all the planning. And what is happening is in contrast to what you anticipate. So the best thing to do is to stay in the life energy, okay? Act like, it could be worse. You can feed at least. Then find the damage control mechanism. What do you need to do? Do you need to talk to somebody? Do you need to... The remaining money, is there a way you can get it out? Money it can grow, So these are lateral thoughts. I might be telling you about my reality right now, but I also understand that it's not exclusive to me. There are lots of people out there who are breaking financial decisions and they are suffering from the consequences of it. So that's why I felt I should talk about it. I am at my lowest now, I'll be honest with you, but the mentality is right because I understand very clearly that situations change is constant and things can change at any time, okay? The last one is you have to be willing to share knowledge. As much as it is bad for me, what I am doing right now is I'm sharing that knowledge. Knowledge is vast. It doesn't have to be patronizing, it doesn't have to be me. At this point, I'm not telling you I am smashing it. At this point, I'm telling you I'm a fuck. I'm telling you I'm a mess. And I'm sharing some of those details because you understand it is what it is. Business is fun. Sometimes it is not. Business is, you can do all the planning and then in execution you are whack. Maybe you didn't take in cognizance some of the very important things. Yeah, you might have, but you neglected a very important thumb screw, and that becomes a cog in the wheel. So what's the essence of this live video session? I don't want to waste your time. I just stated 3 things. I was writing, because before now I prayed. I don't pray often. But when you're sinking, you need to pray. Literally when you're sinking, because one thing about finance, especially if you don't have government support or you don't have friends who give you money, people think you're okay, you're out there, so they don't give you money per se. The endorsements are there and you do not deliberately monetize this engagement. All you do is practically sell what you have or push out what you have. You find out that these constraints can get you overwhelmed, can get you over a lot of thinking, and a lot of you begin to do some things you don't do. Maybe you might even soak yourself in alcohol and the drugs, weed and all that. And these things, you begin to go on a downward slide because you're overwhelmed, okay? The best thing to do is what I've just done. Sometimes you pray. Involve divinity. There's a clarity. I don't pray much, but I just pray. And after I prayed, there was this push to share this knowledge. I just felt there was somebody in worse cases than I am at the moment who needed this information. So clearly, you pray and involve God in your business. Whatever you're doing, there's a spiritual factor to it. And I'm not specifically, like I said before, Christianity or Islam or whatever, not it's just the spiritual angle of things. People can work against you. And there is a centrifugal centripetal part of nature that mitigates against human being. The air that is breathing, that is blowing right now, you don't know where it's coming from. So these things are forces out of your control. Then government policies. You might have made plans with X amount of policies around time and they change it overnight. And then you're down back to square one. Or you lose big money. And these things happen. But what I'm saying is you involve God. What's the second one? I can't remember. Involve God. Next one is Amateurs don't make money, professionals do. So get the knowledge, which is what I'm doing now. The third one is be willing to share, to train others, and that's what I'm doing. So I just shared something. It might not be the conventional message you hear from people on Facebook. Everybody on Facebook is okay. They doctor their reality. They tell you everything is fine. They cut out the bullshit. But here, this zone, we don't cut out the bullshit. I am not from a rich family. A normal struggling boy who understands very clearly that tomorrow is bright. And in the bid to attain that uhuru, that utopia we call tomorrow, there is bound to be hitches. There's bound to be problems. And we need to underscore them. It is those problems as we surmount them that fill us with resilience, fill us with tenacity, and help us stay till we win. Those are the real indices. That's why you give a rich man money, rich child money. He has the money all his life, but he doesn't know the rudiments of life. He doesn't know how to stay broke. He doesn't know how to lose. He doesn't know that life is hinged on these principles. So the money finishes and he doesn't see money anymore, and he goes down to die, or he goes to stand on the road. But a young man, or a poor man per se, in quotes, who understand that these are lessons, these are time to learn, and they don't understand that these seasons like winter, summer, and all that, they change. And so some of the things we learn are the things that give us the staying power, and they help us stay on even when the times are rough. So thank you very much for giving me. I just feel I should talk to some people. You have an investment and it crashed. You're going to make that money again. It's you. So sometimes I tell myself, you made this money. I sold the business of content marketing. In 1 week, I got over ₦1 million. I am not boasting. Somebody on Facebook gave me 400K or 300K. However, before I know it, it is Onyeka who did it. So when you understand you've been at the pinnacle, you can understand again that you always get there. It is the same you, maybe different circumstances, but it's still possible. So thank you for giving me. We'll talk again later. Bye.